A few verses from Mirza Ghalib have come to strike me, and I want to bring them to you too. हर एक बात पे कहते हो तुम कि तू क्या है। हर एक बात पे कहते हो तुम कि तू क्या है। तुम ही कहो कि ये अंदाज गुफ्तगू क्या है। तुम ही कहो कि ये अंदाज गुफ्तगू क्या है। रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल। रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल। जब आँख ही से ना टपका तो फिर लहू क्या है। चिपक रहा है बदन पर लहू से पैरन्हा। चिपक रहा है बदन पर लहू से पैरन्हा। हमारी जेब को अब हाजत ए रफू क्या है। हमारी जेब को अब हाजत ए रफू क्या है। Now these lines, this शायरी by the great poet Mirza Ghalib can be taken in many ways. A few experts call it as this being a play of the beloved and the seeker, where the seeker is lovingly complaining or praying to the beloved that what is this injustice, or what is this suffering, or what is this path that I have to lead, where on everything that I do, every one of my action is being questioned. Everything is trying to ask me my credentials, that what am I really, that I did such and such a thing. Where did I get this audacity to do it from? What is this andaz e guftagu? What is this style of rendezvous? Or what is this style of encountering me? What have I really done that I have to face such a kind of a behavior from your side? This is what the seeker asks. And then in the very next line, he says something which is very profound. Yet the most of the world that we see around us is unable to follow this. What he is asking over here is that रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल। रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल। जब आँख ही से ना टपका तो फिर लहू क्या है। Here he says that he is not the blood or the water which is made to flow, the blood which is made to flow through the heart to various organs in a very predetermined, preordained, very mechanical way. He discounts himself, or he puts a very firm line between him and the usual blood, which works just as a medium of flow of nutrients to the parts of the body. He says that I am not this conditioned one which is told what to do. My way is different. I am such a blood which will flow out of your eyes when you cry, or when I lust for the beloved, when I am waiting for the beloved's arrivals. The wait for him, the wait for this beloved will make me shed tears of blood. That kind of a blood I am. He is hinting over here towards a means of working which is far above and beyond our usual ways where we function in a way thinking just about the future. We do mechanical tasks, we do very safe occupations, we follow paths of career, we think in means of tens of hundreds of years without justifying our present. It is not bad to do future planning, but it should not come at the cost of becoming a fake being in this present life that you are living. This is what Mirza Ghalib is trying to remind one of. And this intensity of his work, this creativity of doing things, this hard-working attitude comes at a very heavy cost. It's not a cheap thing or a very easy thing to do this. To follow the norm comes very mechanically, robotically, and it comes very easily to one. But this working which we are talking about, that is realized only by someone who is a saint, someone who has seen the openings, someone who is a seeker, someone who really wants to get through or go to their beloved. And he then in the next few lines, he talks about the predicament of the seeker, the predicament of the lover. What he says is, चिपक रहा है बदन पर लहू से पैराहन, which means that this great angst, this great movement of his towards the beloved, not thinking much of how lavish or pleasurable lifestyle he is leading, and just going behind the right task which he thinks, that big walk of thousands of kilometers that is going to take him to the beloved. Walking that path, he has forgotten about his usual day-to-day or worries of the common folk. He no longer resides in those small problems, and he sees right now when he is observing himself that even his clothes have started sticking to his skin because of the sweat or the blood. He is seeing that his clothes have started to cling to him. And this, instead of becoming a problem, he jokes on himself, he sees the great wit in this situation, where he is able to say that हमारी जेब को अब हज़ात ए रफू क्या है, which means that even though his pocket, it has torn off, it is already a torn pocket. He is not anyways taking care of what he is wearing or his looks, but yet he sees that there is no need of tailoring or doing the rafu on his pocket anymore, because his blood, his own sweat has caused the cloth to stick to his skin. That is the wit that he comes up with. This we looked at through the poem very much through a seeker, a lover's perspective. Now we also would like to see it from the perspective of where Mirza Ghalib was during this poem. This recital, this shairi has been made by him during a time of great distress. where he saw that there was a poet who was elected or who was selected by Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was the king of that time. And he saw that this poet, having been admitted to the court of the king, had grown a lot of ego. And he, when seeing that the poet who was now in the court was traveling with his kafila, the royal escorts, through the streets of Chandni Chowk, he made very sly remark through the point or through the essence of his poem, where he said that बना है शाह का मुसाहिब फिरे है इतराता वगरना शहर में गालिब की आबरू क्या है. And on hearing this remark, the poet of the court, he got so angry that he made the king summon Ghalib to his court. And when Ghalib was summoned to the court of the king, he was told to explain. And what Ghalib, with his presence of mind, did was that he said that this verse was a part of a bigger recital of his, which was just introducing this verse through. And then he went on to narrate in his presence of mind or his great poetry, his great conjuring of words, the recital or the very verse, the shairi that we discussed before this.